and welcome to Design in the Dark. As Howard said, the show where we design in the darkness with the lights off, wearing blindfolds. Totally kidding. This is Design in the Dark. We're here with our guest, Julia. Hello, Julia. How are you today?
Hey, good. I'm
Oh
in
my
the dark.
goodness. All right, let's get illuminated here. There we go. And we are glowing. There we go. So
Nice.
hello everyone in chat. If you're here because of Julia, I
To
know a lot of
design in the
people are.
dark.
Let me know that you're in chat. I'll pass along the word. She doesn't see chat because that's part of the show today. So let me know
Mm,
and I'll pass along that word. Julia, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself? Let people know
sure.
who you are.
Hi, I'm Julia McNamara. I am a graphic designer and illustrator. I live in Seattle, Washington, and I do freelance design. I've been a teacher, and I'm just excited to be here.
Yes, it's going to
Freelance
be fun.
illustration as well.
Where can people find you on Behance or Instagram?
Behance, I'm / Julia McNamara. Hopefully, it's printed somewhere because I realize it's kind of a hard name to spell. And also, my website is juliamcnamara.com. That's also linked on Behance. And Instagram is Pixel and Post.
Pixel and Post.
Yep.
Lots of friends hopping in here. Chopper Nars
Ah, Chopper.
is here.
Hola. He's from
Damaris,
Mexico.
Manir, Justin Sears, JD. Nice to see you all. So yeah, if you are watching, let me know where you're watching from in the world. And welcome to Design in the Dark. The preface for this show is that we have an artist right here, that is Julia today, and an art director, that is me. Hello, I'm Andrew Hochradel. Didn't introduce myself.
Yay.
Um, we are going to be creating a product today, and chat, we need your help. The twist is that I will not be able to see what Julia is making. At no point will I be able to see what she's making, but she will never know what the creative brief is. This is a show talking about visual communication. So we will visually communicate and see how close we can get to a final product working together through art direction and illustration. So some friends in Brazil, from Mexico, tons of Brazil. Dang, Brazil like represent.
Hey,
Friends
Brazil.
from
That's awesome.
Colorado. Nice to see you all here. So we will be doing that today. We are going to hop right in because this is an hour show. We are going to just go for it. Julia, can you please
Hey.
remove your headphones and I will give you the
Okay.
signal to come back. I'm going to go over the brief with the chat.
All right.
All right. See you later.
Sounds good.
All right, chat. So now that she's gone, we're going to go over our brief for the day. Today, we can go ahead and look at this. Chat, I'm going to need your help to pick out what the asset is that we are creating. So Design in the Dark, the artist doesn't know the brief, and I cannot see their screen, what they're making. The client that we're working with today is a local publisher looking to partner with us to create a limited edition product as a collectible for their upcoming book release. The style that we're working for is we want it to be two colors. We want it to be zany, kind of fun and quirky. Even though it's a children's book, it doesn't have it. It can be more refined and concept driven, so it can be a little more highbrow than just kid stuff. In chat, this is where I need your help. You get to pick what the asset is that we are creating today. So in chat, I want to see ones, twos, or threes to tell me what the asset is that we're creating. We either have one, a gig poster, two, a book cover, or three, a set of coasters. Let me know which of those three that you'd like us to create, and I will update that right away. So I'm going to bring Julia back on, and let me know what you want to create, and we will pick that. So Julia, come back. Hello.
Oh my gosh.
There we go. Headphones are back on. All right. And we are having some things come in. There are some great comments from chat about your outfit.
Oh,
Can
thank
you
you very
please
much.
show off like the sleeve? Because we can't see it anywhere
Oh,
else. Like
yes,
it
this
is a
is
full tiger
can I
face.
plug some other can I allowed to say who made
Oh,
this?
absolutely. Yes.
This is a company out of your state, California, called New Works,
Okay.
NOOWORKS, and they take illustrators' work and they put them on fabric and they make fantastic clothes.
That's sweet. It's so
So
cool.
yeah, thank you.
All right,
I
cool.
love
So
it.
chat has spoken. Chat, we are going to
Hey,
be
chat.
doing number one. We're going to be doing option number one, just so you all are in the know. I'm going to go ahead and update that right now. I'm actually very excited because that is the one of the ones that I wanted to do. We will revisit one of them tomorrow, so we may do another one of those tomorrow. If you come back, we have two segments on this show. All right, Julia,
All
if
right.
you want to go ahead and open up an artboard,
Okay.
And Julia,
Yes,
what
sounds.
program will you be working in today?
I'm using Adobe Fresco.
Yes, I also will be using an Adobe Fresco.
Um,
And so if you want to, you can follow along. What's going to be happening here is I will be working on my iPad and she'll be working on hers. I'm going to go ahead and cover all of your screens right now. And the first thing that I'm going to have you do is just make an artboard that is in a 2:3 ratio. So 2 across and 3 down.
okay.
All right, and if you want to at any point, chat, go ahead and look up above us at that bar up there. That is just going to show us what we are making today. I'm going to be covering all of my screens and monitors. Oh, so crazy, so nerve-wracking for me. Let me go ahead and cover this one. All right, so do we have our artboard there?
No.
Okay. Um, so, Julia.
Like a 1,000 by 3,000, like pixel wise, like what?
Yeah,
Can you tell me?
let's do 2,000 by 3,000.
Okay,
It's going to be pretty big, but I think that'll
that's
work.
fine.
Um,
DPI, you want 72? Okay.
yeah, let's just do 72 for now. We'll probably only post this on social, so it could go in other places, but we'll
You're not
probably
gonna
only
print this?
post.
Not gonna produce
I
this?
mean, we could if we wanted to
Just
get
kidding.
some design in the dark merch, right, y'all? Um, cool. So,
Ready.
let's go ahead and get started. Julia, what is the best way to communicate to you as we start to work into this? What's ways you like to be communicated to as the artist?
Um, I mean, you can. I like metaphors. I
Okay,
like straight up like horizontal lines, vertical lines. Put a circle here, there. Um,
cool.
is that specific enough?
That works for me. Yep.
Okay.
So more conceptual. Love that. All right. So we're going to start
Yeah.
out with our artboard, and as you can see here, I'm going to make my 2,000 by 3,000 real quick,
Okay.
and then we'll get started. And chat, feel free. She cannot see any of what we are doing. So
Oh.
what I want you to do is if there is something that is off, that feels wrong, you can go ahead and let me know in chat, and I will try to pass it along. You are the wild card here, chat. You need
Save
to help me.
me.
So, all right. So what we're
Okay.
going to do first is we are going to do a grid. And this grid is kind of going to be a compositional grid. And
Okay.
we're going to do basically, let's see, 3 across. So 1, 2, 3, and then maybe 4 tall. And I'm talking boxes. Sorry. So boxes. So as if it's 3 boxes across and then 4 boxes tall.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So we're going to kind of
Yep.
just sketch that. And again, we're both working in Fresco here. I am not the best of illustrators, but
I don't
thankfully,
think I am today.
thankfully, we have Julia here with us to be that illustrator. So we're going to work in that grid. In this grid, each of these are going to have 2 elements in it. We'll be working with a very limited color palette. And so they each will have 2 elements in here, and we're going to play around. So the general style that we want is a lot of loose lines. We're going to be doing some kind of characters in here.
Hmm.
And so if you like to think of, let's imagine that, right, we have a big pot, right? We have a big pot and we're putting in inspiration. So this is where I'm going to try to guide you into the style that we want is we have a little bit of like Wizard of Oz sprinkled in there, like as the
Oh
color
my
kind of
goodness.
opens up, right? Everything's a little bit out there. A little bit of Tim Burton mixed in there, not too
Okay.
much. So it's not the dark side of Tim Burton, but maybe it's the little bit of a twist on something that is real. So it's like reality, but then it's twisted into kind of this fantasy.
Okay.
And then a little bit of, have you ever seen the show Chowder or like Foster's Home for Imaginary
Yes.
Friends?
Love that.
Okay,
Would love to live there.
so yes. Oh my gosh. Okay, cool, perfect. So it's going to be very like Foster's Home kind of
Okay.
vibes. So let's go ahead and start working
I'm
here.
almost there.
To keep
I'm
in
almost there.
mind, no, you're good.
Okay. I got your grid.
Cool. To keep in mind, we want to have in each of these, we will have 2 elements. So we will have a
Okay.
character as well as a letter. if that makes
Ooh.
sense. So they will be overlaid. So keep in mind that as we're doing that, we're playing with those colors so that it almost is like that multiplied, like double
Yeah.
printed stamped effect kind of thing. Cool.
Awesome. Okay, great.
Cool. So in the top left, let's go ahead and start with a character. We want this one to be fluffy. We
Okay.
want it to be fluffy and not necessarily like shaggy, but almost like poofy. Like think of
Okay.
like the top of a poodle. Um,
Yeah, love that.
and pretty much like um, the entire frame taken up by like puff with just like a couple little eyes kind of poking through. And we
Okay.
want this one to look kind of excited.
And then am I doing, can I ask you this? Am I
Oh, you
doing
can ask me any
color
questions.
as we go, or are we coming back and adding color? Should I be doing, is that
Um,
too specific?
no, no, totally. So it's kind of whatever, however you like to do your process. If
Okay.
you want to color as we go, chat. This is again where I need your help. Let me know what two colors we should be using. That's probably more helpful to know now. So let me know what two colors we should be using, chat, and we will
Yeah,
incorporate
that'd be
those
helpful.
into our design. They can be anything of your choosing. Let us know, and we will start working in those. I swear the second this camera turns on, I get the hiccups. That's just how my body
That's
works.
okay.
So let's know those two. So yeah, we have a kind of fluffy, puffy guy. We want it to be kind of round so that it's
Okay.
taking up most of it, but it's more of like a roundy kind of shape.
Yep. Okay. Feel good about
All right, I'm gonna draw in some little eyebrows just to make him look like he's got a little bit of fun. And round little poodles. So hopefully, chat, you can see above me, we have my screen above her. We have her screen. Blue and orange, Kate Reingold.
Kate.
You are the winner. Great job. Oh, we know Kate.
Kate's one of my dearest, favorite former students.
Yes, and yes, two
Thank you, Kate.
educators here. So hopefully we can like
Yeah.
educate each other. Cool. So we picked. I literally forgot what it was.
Orange and blue.
Orange and blue. All
Orange
right, cool.
and blue.
So nice
Two of my favorite
standard
colors.
colors for good contrast that we'll be using. Let's do the characters in blue and the type in orange.
Okay.
And that way we have two things over. Okay, cool. So that's in our first one. And
Okay.
in the background, we are going to incorporate some more like elements. And those are going to be like kind of just like patterny, floaty things.
Okay.
So we can have it so that it's kind of just a little element. We can add those at the end
Okay.
so that there is some more texture if we need it. So going into the middle square,
Middle top
let's
again.
yes, the top
Okay.
middle. This one is literally just going to be legs. It's just going to be a crop
It's like
of
this. It's like this was made for me. This,
legs. I know, right? I definitely like saw your style and was like, oh man, I'm gonna make these options so that we can do something very fun and quirky in your style. If you haven't seen, go check out Julia's Behance or Instagram. She has a very fun, unique style, and so I wanted to play that a little bit today and showcase what she can do. And so we're gonna have some fun. And chat, if
Thanks
you
for
have
that.
any suggestions or you want to see something, if you want to give me suggestions for one of these characters, give that character over to me and we'll pass it along and see what we can do. All
All
right,
right.
so there we go. We've got literally just legs, and we want them to be like big bird legs to where they have almost little like crease stripes on them. So almost
Yeah.
like a palm kind of texture that we just want
Okay.
those kind of simple lines on there.
All right.
And then the next one, we are going to have just a big single eye. So this will be a cyclops, and we
Mm.
want it to have almost, you know how like a lot of the Disney characters have like the bump nose that feels like it's in
Yeah.
front of their eye. We want
Yeah.
like the bump nose with then just one big eye
All right.
behind the bump and like a thick eyebrow, like a super
Okay.
thick eyebrow. So we're just
So
cropping.
basically, a self-portrait of myself.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
I don't know. Okay. Nose. You said
All right. Yes.
with an eyeball.
And we want all of these cropping just inside these little squares.
Yeah. I'm not sure about that. Okay. Hold
All right.
on.
Single eyeball. And then like a super thick, like have you seen like Fairly Odd Parents?
Yep.
Okay, so like that level of an eyebrow. I don't know why that's like the example that I think of, but like the thickness of their eyebrows in there is like
Okay.
the one. Um, all right, and yes, it really reminds me of Foster's. That's totally the zone we're going for. Michael Latkin says, "You got this, Teach."
Aw. Hey, Michael. That's awesome.
All right,
He
chat.
just graduated.
Oh, nice. Chat, let
Yep.
me know, keep going when you want to see what kind of character, what kind of elements you want to see in a character, and we'll incorporate that as we go. All right, so let's go ahead and on those, let's start developing a kind of type style that we're
Okay.
going to put over that. Love that suggestion, Kate. That is super fun. We'll do that one next. So we're going to work 3 letters, and we are going to put any 3-letter word. This is where it gets a little choose your own adventure. Any
All
three
right.
letter word, and keep in mind that we may stack more 3-letter words under that. So it can be the first in a series of 3-letter words. So just go ahead and put any 3-letter word in there. And what I want is type that feels like Industrial Revolution slab serif, like very
Oh, yeah.
chunky
Got it.
in there. So just like really heavy. And I don't want it to fill the entire frame. I'd say like squeeze it in just a little bit so that there is almost a border of white space around the letter.
Okay. So these words are going in the frame with the things.
Yes, yes, there'll be the secondary color kind of overlapped on that. So we can make a new layer
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
there. And let's do that. Yeah, I didn't even think about that either. Let's do a layer of
Kind of
that blue,
multiply.
and then kind of play with overlaying that.
Oh, cool.
Let's
Good color
see.
choices for that. Now, am I picking the words?
You are. So ours
Or
will
is
be.
chat picking the words?
Oh, chat. Go ahead and pick any 3-letter word. Chat, give us any 3-letter word, and we will incorporate that into this top design. We will be adding more words to this. So go ahead and do that. I have already plugged in the first letter of my word, so I'm going to keep going. And chat, let us know what that word is, and we will incorporate it. Judy, nice suggestion. We're going to use the word dog, 3 letters. So dog will be the
Okay.
top letter. And I will let you, Julia, pick the second letter when we get there. So first letter is going to be, or sorry, first word is going to be
Okay,
dog
word.
at that.
And
At
then
that.
it's going in the box we were drawing in, or is this,
It's yes, it's
can you
going
help me decide where I put it?
totally. It's going in between the sorry, it's going within each box. So DOG inside each box,
Oh,
overlaid
I see.
almost on the
Got it,
character.
got it,
Yeah,
got it.
so it's like it's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
stamped over.
Okay.
Yep. And I love a lot of these suggestions coming through chat. Great job. We're gonna let Julia pick the second word, and then you'll be able to finish what it is with that third word, and then we'll add some extra information at the bottom there. So I had already started, and so I'm just gonna keep going here. And my word is going to be fun, mostly because I have this song from SpongeBob stuck in my head. The like F
Nice.
is for friends who do stuff together. Um, which every time I'm singing that like in the shower, I always just mix up that version and the plankton. And so it's always like F is for friends who do stuff together, and then suddenly U is for uranium bombs, and I'm like, wait, well, that's not how this goes at all.
That's
Um,
amazing.
yes. Cool.
Okay.
So I'm gonna finish mine up just putting in the word fun. You go ahead and put in the word dog, which actually fits way better with what we're actually doing here. Chat, you guys are out art directing me. That's what's happening here. Chat's
Oh
the
my
real
God, that's
MVP of
amazing.
this show.
That's right.
Cool. So we want that cool overlay funness happening. All right. Next up, somebody had, yes, that is the best SpongeBob song. I agree, chat. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to move on to the next row.
Okay.
And this one, we are going to engage with breaking these boxes. So we want the boxes to stay, but it's going to be the illusion that a character is reaching over. So we're going to have from the second box on the left down into the middle box, if that
Okay.
makes sense. So
Yep.
we want this character to be a good suggestion from chat, 80s punk rock. So maybe it's
Oh,
just an arm that's reaching down that has like some like spike things on,
yeah.
on the wrist or whatever kind of going
Okay.
through. And this is
Punk.
back in that orange color.
Oh, the arms in the orange color?
Yes, so all the characters will be in the orange, and then all the
Oh,
type will be
crap.
in the blue.
I had characters blue and type orange.
Oh, okay, no, then you do that. You do that.
Okay.
I have it the opposite. That's totally fine. I
Cool.
didn't
All right.
communicate that, and it's way too late to go back.
Yeah, we could
See,
try to change it.
so that's something that chat for reference when you're working on a project and you're working collaboratively with people. The simplest thing as what colors are we using? We literally have two colors and we did it different. So you need to be able to communicate the details, make sure that you're on track with everyone to make sure that things are on the same page. And Eddie says, "Well, if chat is the art director, then I say do it faster." Thank you, Eddie. That is
Wow.
wow. What reality we're living in now. And so there we can add, if we want to, like a little bit of a shadow, if we want to put something on that arm, just to show the
Okay.
dimension of it coming over. We also could make this a little feathery in my brain for some reason. It's either like hairy or feathery, and not maybe not like bird feathery, but it has like a few feathers. Like if you imagine a
Yeah.
rendering of like when somebody's like raptors were actually birds and they have like three feathers, something like that.
Yeah, maybe it's the spikes that are making us think feathers
Oh,
too.
cool. Yeah, that it's like an 80s, like the actual animal itself
Yeah.
is 80s.
Yeah,
I
totally.
love that. Oh, I love that idea. So much
Add to
fun.
this. Or
All
maybe a
right,
feather
so we're
hanging
tagging that
down.
through. And chat, as always, if you have questions for Julia, if you're looking at her work on Instagram or Behance, or if you're just wondering how she's doing something, or you have suggestions for the show, just go ahead and always put those in chat. I will be monitoring and I will pass them along to our friend Julia. And hello, friends. Do some kind. Oh my goodness. Oh, I forgot. I
Gesundheit.
forgot. I forgot how to talk and breathe and then swallow my spit at the same time. Ooh. Okay, cool. So we have that, and then maybe we'll add in a little bit of shading just to show that there is some dimension there, that it's kind of reaching over those boxes. All right, into the center, someone had suggested to do a helmet, and I think that's a really fun
Mm.
idea. So let's do imagine we're in Italy, right? We're like in European. We've got our little Vespa, and we put on
Uh-huh.
that helmet that looks like it's like a bowl cut helmet. Like it's a helmet that
Yep,
looks like it
got
has
it.
bangs. Um, so we want to do something like that that has a very close cut, but we want to cut it at about nose level. So
Okay.
it's not the entire helmet; it's just the top of the helmet, as if someone is kind of popping up. Eddie Garcia
Okay.
says that box that you just created looks radical, Julia. So I
Oh,
guess
thank
we're
you,
we're on
Eddie.
the right page. All right,
Right,
so we're
helmet.
making little helmet guy. I play a lot of Mario Kart, and
Yeah.
I always think of this as like Toad, but like racing Toad.
Oh,
That he's
nice.
got like that like mushroom on his head that I'm like, just put a helmet
Yep.
on it. And then let's do a racing stripe right in the middle. Is there a difference between a stripe and a racing stripe? I'd like to know like the
No, I don't know.
the
I bet there's
designation.
something about how many lines and what it means.
That's probably
I'm
true.
guessing. I don't know.
All right, cool. So we got our fun helmet, and then the last one, yes, a helmet with bangs. That's the only way. Sometimes you have to describe conventional things in unconventional ways to
I
have them
love
look a
it.
certain way.
Yeah.
Julia, let's do this. Let's you pick the next box. Don't tell me what it is. I will pick one. You will pick one, and at the end, we'll see what comes out in the difference of the two.
Okay, so
Um,
we're just freeform
we're just
the next
freeform
box.
this next box.
All
Absolutely,
right.
just off the cuff. Um, what am I gonna do? Oh my goodness. Oh, I know what I want to do. I'm just gonna do. Oh
Yeah,
gosh.
it's hard. I like the art direction. It's easier.
Oh,
Uh,
let's do Toad is the real
fine.
gangster. Yes. Okay, this is the greatest comment I think we've ever had in chat. The difference between stripes and racing stripes is that racing stripes are faster.
Who said that? That's
That's
awesome.
glorious. All
Oh my
right.
god.
Oh man, this
Okay.
is this is a really stupid idea. Okay. Oh
I'm
gosh, this is
trying to,
such a dumb
yeah.
idea for this box, but we're gonna go ahead and roll with it. All right. Well, let's make color that in. All right. So Julia, whenever you are ready, you are able to go ahead and plug in whatever you want for that next three-letter word. Chat, you are going to make my three-letter word for the second one. So let me know what three-letter word you want me to put on my second row. You can see that my top word up there is fun. So what kind of fun are we going to? What is the next fun that we have? I need a three-letter word. Go ahead and plug that in. Julia is going to keep working on hers and plug in
Yep.
a word of her choosing. So I'm at your beck and call. let me know. A great idea, Jill. We'll incorporate that in the next row for sure. There's a little bit of a delay, and so it's always fun to ask a question and then like sit and wait awkwardly. You're like, no, it's listening. They don't love me. And then suddenly there's like 90.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
I'm like, okay, cool. They do. They're back. Oh,
Okay.
Kate, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. So mine currently the top one says fun, and then Kate said the
Oh.
second word to be but, and I love that journey for us. That like what's gonna happen next. So we're gonna do fun, and then my second word is going to be but.
And
Um,
I chose a different word, right? Is that okay?
yes, yep, yeah,
Okay.
totally. So I'm just
I wanted
working
but.
on that one. And then if you are, whenever you're ready, as I work on my type, are you ready to move on?
I'm ready for the next row. Yeah.
Cool. So the next one, somebody wanted to do a bicycle, but I don't think that that's fun enough. So we're gonna do a tandem bicycle that goes
Okay.
across all three of those boxes. So
Okay.
we want it to be almost like it's a window looking through, and we want it to be like one, two, three, and maybe this one we have. Okay, here's the idea. We have a character who is in the first box, but he has enough legs to like continue on to the next two boxes, if that
Oh,
makes sense. So
okay.
his
Yeah.
arms reach through all three of the boxes,
Yeah.
and like hold on to the handles on the far right box, and then his legs like have a set on the little spokes on the first box, the second box, and the third box, and each has a wheel, if that makes sense.
So it's a three-wheeled bicycle.
Yes, it is a three-wheeled bicycle with one wheel in each box, and the
Okay.
character sitting on the back, the legs reaching to the
Oh,
middle, and then his arms
okay.
going all the way through all of them
It's a
to hold
tall
onto the
order
handlebars in the
here,
front.
my friend.
And if you want to, you
Thinking
can
of
have
these.
the arms like go in and out of the boxes, so it looks like it's kind of like he's like doing a wave in and out and over kind of the brakes to create some dimension.
Whoever picked
Uh,
a bike is torturing me.
yes, a bike is
Probably
definitely
someone I know. It's like, make her draw a bike.
yeah. We're gonna do a project entirely called hands, where you just draw hands.
I can, I love hands. I have a thing about branches and trees. Living in the Pacific Northwest, it's like every brief is like, this has to have a tree in it. And then I have a panic attack, and uh, trees have always been a challenge for me. So
Yep.
no trees.
All right.
Okay. All
Jacob.
right.
Jacob. Next word should just be bro. Oh gosh, that's funny. Okay, so you were working on the bicycle thing. I'm one step behind you currently. I'm guessing you're still working on that. So as you
I'm
work on
still
that,
working on the bike.
can you talk to us a little bit about education and being a
Yeah.
teacher, what it's like kind of inspiring the next generation?
Oh my gosh. Sure. I hope that I inspire the next generation. I was teaching at a intensive 2-year graphic design program here in Seattle. And I came from the University of Washington here in Seattle, but then I went to this program specifically. I have a degree in fine art, but I went to this program to learn how to be a designer. And then I got the opportunity to teach there, and it completely blew me away, the type of students that we had. Um, and every year in that program, the bar would be raised higher, and it's a magical place. I can only hope that I inspired them. But they're all out there doing amazing stuff. So I loved it. I really fell in love with teaching. I did not expect to fall for it as hard as I did. So,
Do you have any projects or things, like moments from being a teacher that you could remember that you're like, man, that was a stand out moment when this student did X, Y, or Z?
oh my gosh, let me think.
I know.
There's so many. I mean, honestly, for me, it's like the smaller things. Like you see people like being really afraid to take a risk, and then you just push and push and push. And when they finally do it and find out that like nothing bad is actually going to happen from taking that risk, and then
Yep.
they grow. I think it's more that than like, our students won awards and they got recognition. And I feel like those are great and fine, but it was really that personal growth piece that I love, just standing back and watching when someone was like, oh crap, I did this thing that I thought was super scary, and like nothing bad came of it. It was only good
Yep.
stuff. And so that to me, yeah, that for me is was the best. What about for you as a teacher?
I have had students before. So my final, I was never the like academic. Even when I was in school, I like didn't really like the academicness of things, and so I always
Right.
just kind of wanted to do my own thing. I'm like, I want to be inspired and like chase my own ideas. And so when I started teaching, I wanted a class that was like that.
Yep.
And so my final is turn in anything you want at the end of the semester that shows that you had comprehension of the things we talked about.
That's
And so I
awesome.
tell them the first day, I'm like, here's your final. On the last day, I expect that. I'm giving you no more details. And as a designer, it's your responsibility to follow up with me as the client to find out exactly
Right.
what I'm looking for. Um, and so it's awesome to watch them, send me the emails and be like, I'm gonna do an intake and like I'm gonna try to like
Yeah.
really discover this. And to me, that's the initiative seeing that I'm like, this is amazing. And then I
Yeah.
also always tell my students, if you disagree with me, like just tell me I'm wrong. Because I think that that's so important when
Mm-hmm.
you're working as a creative to be able to have your own voice and be able to communicate that. And I would so many times have students that I'd be like, cool, I don't know, like turn in like a roll of paper towels for your final, like see if you can pull that off. And then have a
Yep.
student walk in and be like, here's my roll of paper towels. And I'm like, heck yeah, dude, stick it to me. Like, like you told
So
me and
good.
I love it. Kate says Julia is a super inspiring teacher. She was amazing at helping us understand the creative process and making creativity a regular, not scary part of our lives.
Yeah.
Super
Thanks, Kate.
cool. Yes.
Yes, that is my
Um,
passion. I think my passion in teaching is just teaching, especially designers, to just get out of their own way.
yep.
Stop overthinking because that's when the big creative ideas will come. And so we talked about neuroscience behind it, like we had a lot of improv that we did just to really help us um every idea that you have and just like lean into something that sounds like a great idea because it's
Yep.
fun.
And our
So
friend Trish Mahoney is in chat now. Hi,
Trish.
Trish. Trish
Hey
runs an
Trish.
amazing studio, the
She
Mahoney Studio.
does.
Mod, if you want to grab a chat to Trish's, grab a link to Trish's Instagram or her site, it's just the Mahoney Studio. Incredible work, amazing illustrator, totally awesome.
In
So
person.
yes, let's keep moving on. Are we done with
Okay.
our
I'm done with the
six-legged
sickle
friend?
situation,
Yes. Okay.
I guess. Yeah.
I like that. I like that both of us were kind of like we kind of get the idea of that guy, but not completely. All right.
Think this
So
guy kind of does not even get the idea of itself. So
yeah, that actually is like really exactly what we want. Like a creature that's confused by its own existence.
yeah,
All right, so
I can
chat, you're going to
relate.
go ahead and pick the third word. This will be the final word that we're going to put on here. Julie and I will have the same final word. So give us a three-letter word to put at the end of there. Try to take into consideration that it could make some kind of phrase that it could work for both of these. So we're going to put that in and then keep working here. Let us know what they are. Julia, we are getting into the home stretch. Do you have any
Wow.
things that you have questions on?
Well, okay, here's the situation. I've
Yes, tell
got
me.
3 more boxes to fill. Is that
Yes, at
correct?
the bottom. Yes, there are three
Okay.
more at the bottom.
Okay, good. So yeah, I'm good. I haven't I would consider this like super rough. Like I could go back and start to like refine some of the coloring in. It's a
Cool.
little loose.
Okay, that's good information for me. So let's go ahead and pop in those last three. We'll get the type right now. We'll do the last three, and then I'll kind of just talk and interview and get a little bit more so you can button it
Sure.
up and refine because mine is very much a rough sketch as well.
Okay.
Um, and I think yeah, I think that the consensus is the word not. Jan and Shopper putting the word not as the last word. So
NOT.
I
Okay.
don't know what that means for you, but for me, for for me, mine just says fun but not.
Fun but
So
not.
thank you, chat. That's perfect. I love
Okay.
that. That kind of describes my my existence right now. Like this is fun, but like
I
not.
think a lot of people can relate to
It's,
that.
I know, right? It's like we're having fun, but like not.
Also
So that
not.
is going to be what it says here. I forgot how to make an N. Um, guys, I just made a letter that is a combination of like an F, an R, and an N because I completely forgot how to draw an N.
Happens.
Here and then it goes here. Oh, there's another one that goes up that way. Okay, cool, got it.
I
So
really hope
N
that this is what you're wanting.
and
Okay.
O.
Cool.
What is giving you pause or
Well,
hesitation?
I think I have this issue where I like to draw big, so I didn't leave a lot of clear space for these letters, but it looks cool, so
Okay, that's totally fine. I
we'll just
think,
run with that.
yeah, we want the letters to fill up most of it. Mine's probably filling up about. 70%, and I feel like it would fill the brief up to like 80%. As long as it's not 100% of the entire thing, I
Okay.
think we're going to be good. All right. So we're here. I'm filling this in with blue. And again, chat, if you have questions, go ahead and drop those in into chat. My goodness. Fun but not. Yes, I agree, Kate. That is a great idea, and I actually think that that goes really well with what the brief is. I'm not going to say what your comment is, but that it really is good. Chat. Now it is your time. If you have any feedback for Julia that you feel
Yes,
like maybe
please.
she's gone a little bit off of the brief, which is floating up above me, let me know. If she's a little
Probably
bit
have.
off, I can help to direct her a little bit. Chat, help us out here to really button this up. And at the bottom, Julia, we are
Yes.
going to put in it's really going to be just a bunch of placeholders. So this is somewhere we're going to put a bunch of information. So we're going to
Okay.
do one almost like big block across the bottom and just fill it in with kind of placeholders. So just squares, rectangles, as if we're going to put information in there after the fact. So
Across the all three boxes.
yes, across all three, and that can even like
Okay.
bleed off the bottom, like where that
Okay.
whole section is. It can be just a full like color
Solid.
block.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that even could be in that two color and kind of play with the interaction of, if those were offset printed or, something a
Sure,
little
sure.
bit more wonky.
Okay.
And the great thing that you're seeing me do in Fresco over here is I'm actually rotating my brush. So instead of holding it like this with the
Yeah.
pencil point, I'm rotating it a little bit, and Fresco picks up on that and will allow me to kind of create these broad brush strokes so I can really fill in this space. I am filling in the main color with that blue, and then I'm going to put red on top of it, Julia,
Okay.
just for reference. I feel like orange. I feel like the orange at the bottom in that chunk will be really, really insane. Um, so I'm going to keep filling that in. And chat, again, if you have any suggestions. Um, that's funny. Kate says, I don't think Julia's is as rough as she thinks it is. It rocks as is. Yes, mine.
You're sweet. Very
When
kind.
when you see mine, which I'll hold up at the end so that you can see it. There's not another way for you to see it other than me holding it up to the camera.
That's
All of
awesome.
the world can see it. But yes, we will see that. And Andrew, I agree. I love this orange so much. Um, so we're gonna put this
So
down
placeholder
here.
shapes, you're saying. And
Yes.
okay.
And it literally is okay. We're gonna test your design knowledge here. Are you
Shoot.
familiar with a German design movement called Distigil?
The style?
Yes. Oh my
Yeah, I
gosh.
am. I speak Dutch.
Okay.
The
Yes.
Dutch design movement, the
Okay.
style. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So a
So
little Mondrian action. Is that what you're
yep,
going for
exactly. Yeah,
here?
little Theo von Dustberg, like very kind of
Woo!
just oh man, we're
You
getting
picked the
into
right
it.
one.
We're getting into it. Y'all gonna
I got
learn
nervous there
today.
for a minute.
Y'all are gonna learn. So yes, just plugging in those kind of shapes very easily. And
Okay.
make
We'll just
sure
style.
that we leave a little like wide box at the bottom. That will
Okay.
be a date. So we'll put like releasing July 12th
Oh, okay.
on there.
All right.
I would also
That
love
sounds
to
great.
hear your thoughts on Fresco and how you chose that program. We use Fresco here because it's an Adobe product and it works really,
Yeah.
really well for what we're doing here. So we're using Fresco. We also will use Photoshop every now and then on
Yes.
this stream. And so I think the live brushes are one
Oh
of the
my gosh,
things for
they're
me that are
amazing.
like just absolute magic. We were
They're
talking
great.
before that if you are working with a pixel brush and then go back over with a live brush, it will like show the interaction of it like moving together. So it
From
gets
like a software engineering standpoint, I don't understand. I guess I don't need to understand. I was like playing with it the other day. I was like, I don't know how this is like coded. It starts to hurt my brain.
yes, and there's a certain
Um,
point where you're like, I feel like I'm like not allowed to be doing this. Like I feel like this is
right.
not like somehow I've created some kind of monster that I'm like, I don't know if I should do this.
Yeah, it's super fun. You can definitely lose yourself in it. Yeah, I love my iPad. I got my iPad Pro, I think 2 years ago now, year and a half ago maybe. Actually got it because I love to draw with a stylus. I didn't want to get a Cintiq. I wanted to be able to pull. I've got two kids, so I can't just be at a desk, and it just literally having them being able to take it wherever I want has just it's revolutionized my ability to work
Yep.
anywhere. And now I feel, without it, I like if I had to do Photoshop, I'd have to like practice because I'm not, I'm not, I I use that on my desktop, but not on my iPad. So
Yep.
I think is really very, it's approachable, and the brushes are really interesting. I got to shout out to the Kyle Webster brushes that you can get for it.
Yes.
Been a big fan of Kyle's stuff. I have a lot of his Photoshop brushes. But the fact it works, specifically with this program, develop brushes for it. I've been really impressed with how those brushes work.
Yeah, it's pretty
Especially for like
magical.
layering, it's really cool. So, and if you're a person that likes the watercolor look, I think this program is fantastic.
Yep, I agree. We got
Um,
about 5 minutes
oh
before we
gosh,
need to
okay,
do our
stop
like
talking.
circle up. So you can keep working on kind of buttoning things up, kind of plugging stuff in as you go. Do you have any last minute questions or any direction as you button stuff up that you'd like to have direction on?
Are we? Is this as of today? Are we working on this more the same document tomorrow? Are we doing something different?
We'll be doing something different tomorrow. So
Okay,
the thing
exciting.
with Design in the Dark is that it always continues on the second day, but with a twist. So we'll be staying
Okay,
with
cool.
something similar, but it will be a twist on a new asset. I don't know what that is yet because Chat will be able to pick it tomorrow. So Chat, I
Ooh,
think I know what we're
bring
doing
back in.
because Chat was pretty vocal on another one of our options. So we may be doing another one of those options as well tomorrow. Make sure you come back. It's
Okay,
the same
well,
time, 2:30 to 3:30 every Monday and Tuesday for the next 3 weeks. We're doing these, so we'll be
very
having a lot
cool.
of fun. And Chat, let me know as we begin to build this show and we start doing it more. Let me know what you think would be more fun. Let me know what you'd like to see, what we shouldn't do, what we should do. Let me know if you have ideas for structure. I would love to hear them. Absolutely. And hopefully one day I will not have the hiccups. That's the real goal here.
Yeah, probably the minute we stop doing this, they'll
I
go
know, right?
away.
Yeah, I'm going to turn off the camera and be like, and now I'm fine.
Do you know the peanut butter trick?
No? What do you do with peanut butter?
So you just take a spoon of peanut butter or non-nut butter if you're allergic to nuts, and you just swallow it without chewing it, and it will stop your hiccups. I guarantee.
Oh my gosh,
Go do that
that
after we're off.
that sounds so like I think about that for where my throat is right now, and that sounds so great. Like,
That's my hot tip.
yes. So y'all, I talk literally for like 5 hours every single day, and so just anything that like coats like a good throat coat, oh,
Yeah.
I love it.
Okay, so promise me you'll try that if you do
Oh,
this.
100%.
I don't
So
know, people. I don't know what I've done.
Julia, I feel like you have a very unique style.
Thank you.
Jacob, no, keep the hiccups and make them mandatory. All right, mandatory hiccups here on Design in the Dark. Everyone hiccups all the time. Chat, you're mandatory hiccups. That's gonna be a nightmare. Why'd I say that? All right, chat's about to go off with hiccups. Good luck, everyone. You have a very distinct style. Is that something that you've like grown into, that you've been intentional in like refining, or is it just like, oh, I like to draw like this? Like when I look at your Instagram, it's like,
um,
oh, I can pick out your piece.
oh, thank you. Yeah, it's well, it's something I've always done. Like I've always drawn weird stuff, weird characters. Like when I'm an only child, when I was little, my sketchbook was like my best friend, and I would create these like worlds with weird people in them. Um, when I went to art school in college, I think it was the 90s, everyone was supposed to be sad and depressed. And so my little happy characters didn't really fit in art school, but I never stopped making them. I just stopped like showing them to people. It wasn't until I learned what illustration was in design school where I was like, oh, this is where this stuff really fits. And so um it's what I do.
Yes,
Um
I love that. Todd, Julia McNamara, illustrator and natural healer.
oh,
I
yes.
love that.
Hi
That's
Todd.
it.
Todd
Yes.
is if it's the right Todd, it's former student Todd.
Thanks,
Love you.
Todd.
Thanks,
Um,
Todd.
good old
Hi, Todd.
Todd.
Good
All
old
right, so we got
Todd.
a couple minutes here. Button that on up, and then we will do the reveal.
Oh,
As you button that up, Julia, I'm going to ask you questions real quick about our brief today. So
okay.
for the chat that doesn't know that has been following along with us, here is our brief that was going on today. You can read it over on that side. We are doing option number 1, and now we're going to be going to Julia. After all of this, we've been working on our visual communication to see if she can pick out what we have created. So we are looking today for the client, the style that we were trying to go for, and the asset that we were creating. So, Julia, can you
Yes.
guess any of those three, what the client, the style, or the asset was?
Okay. I'm gonna say maybe a poster.
Okay, yes, that is it. It is a very much a poster.
I
Why
love
would you say
posters.
poster?
Well, I just I'm a fan of this type of composition for a poster with the information on the top, the visual information, and then the verbal information on the bottom. So like when you said like, placeholder area, maybe some blocks of text is what I was kind of imagining for
Yep,
that.
totally.
And
So I love that you said that of the composition being that we have something visually interesting at the top and then the information at the bottom,
pull
and
them
then
in.
that's something that clues you into it being a
Yep.
poster.
Yep.
And that's something for chat that I like to call cognitive barriers. It's things that people think of immediately when they think of something. And so a lot of this show is just reversing those cognitive barriers, right? When I say poster, you think it's going to have some art on top and a lot of information on the bottom. So just communicating that way to hopefully work into getting to that barrier of it being a poster. So great job. All right, looking at the client or the style, either of those.
Okay, well, I'm gonna guess it's like maybe for kids or wacky
Yes,
cartoon.
yes,
And
exactly.
maybe the client is my dream client, like Nickelodeon.
Okay, so the style definitely for kids it is zany and unique.
Nice.
So the style that we had here was we want this to be two colors and a zany style. Even though it's a certain product, it can have a more refined and concept-driven, fun feel, which I feel like
Nice.
we accomplished very well. So the client is not necessarily, I guess it's kind of close, not necessarily a TV show, what would be another swing that you would do something maybe like this for?
Could it be like a kids band, like a band or a kids book?
Yes, exactly. It is a kid's book. So this is, I'll read the brief to you now. So the
Okay.
brief was, it is a local publisher looking to partner with us to create a limited edition product as a collectible for their upcoming book series. The
Oh,
style, we
nice.
want it to be two colors, zany, and even though it is a children's book, it can have a more refined and concept-driven feel. So we did really great. I feel like we accomplished that very, very well.
Yay. That's
And here you
awesome.
are, chat, the sketch of me above me of the art direction that I gave and the
Yeah, I can't
idea.
see that.
And now I'm going to pull over your screen so that I am able to see it. Let me go ahead and set mine on the ground here.
Oh my
The
goodness.
big reveal, and I will hold it up to the screen so that you can see mine as well. And here we go. Let's take a look. Oh my gosh, it's so fun! Oh, it's so fun. So let's go ahead and
That's
put
so
yours
fun.
full screen. So your title ended up being um,
Dog wow not.
dog. Wow, not.
Wow, not.
That's great. So fun seeing the differences between the two. And I'll hold mine up to the
Okay, I
screen
want to see.
just so we can see it. And for all of you in chat, let me go ahead and hit that button so you can see this full screen. So Julia, let's go ahead. Can you see that there?
It's really small. And I'm
So
doing the thing you told me not to do where I'm putting
very
my face
rough. Oh
next to
no,
the
that's
camera.
fun.
Nice. Oh, that's
Yes.
awesome.
So very
Love
fun,
it.
very sketchy, and I'll send that to you right after so that you
Yeah,
can
do.
actually get a good look at it. But let's go ahead and again the two up and Julia's over here. What were some things as fun? But wow, I love that. Um, this is so much fun. Let's talk a
Fun.
little bit about maybe some things that helped to cue you in that were good communication, or some things that you like struggled with that we were
Uh-huh.
communicating back and forth.
Perfect. Yeah. I mean, well, first of all, I think the color choices are really smart, especially for the overlay, because you notice how, like, when I use multiply, we got a third color. We got green, which is
Yep.
really fun. Um, so that was a great direction. And there could have been other two color choices that would have been not so great, right? That wouldn't have that way. So Kate, that rocked.
Great job.
And I think that like when you describe like to me how the character was supposed to feel, like peeking or surprised or happy or like big bird legs, like those types of things for me, I instantly was able to kind of like cue into like what that might look like.
Yes, yeah. In my
Um,
brain, this show is more charades than it is like
yes,
taboo. That
right.
there's so much of like like this and like he's like peeking over and stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
That a
yeah.
lot of
All
times if
that
you
kind of
need
stuff.
reference or you need an emotion, like go into a
Yeah,
mirror and do that and see how it
yeah,
makes you feel. And then
yeah,
try to capture that feeling, and at 100% like captures all the feelings that I thought that we wanted, right? Especially with that little poof at the beginning.
yeah.
I
That was
love that you
lovely.
gave him little ears because I think
Little
without
horns.
those,
Yeah,
yeah, without those, it would have been like maybe he's a little like just like, oh, like what's going on? But then with the
yeah.
ears perked up, he's like, oh, hello.
Oh, Oh,
And
yeah,
so it's
yeah.
those little moments. And if you've joined any of my streams, I like to talk about indexes. And indexes are little things that give information. And so those
Yeah,
ears give us the information that he is excited and interested.
yeah,
So
for
I
sure.
think that's really interesting. Was there anything that you had a struggle with that as you started to go through that you're like, okay, I'm
Totally.
trying to figure out and like interpret what he means?
Well, I think that first of all, like, we're going along through the squares, and by square 6, where I have my goofy, like, open mouth dog W person,
Yes.
that was the one where it was like, draw anything you want. And I was so like into like, the challenge of it all, that like when the parameters were just blowing open, I like totally was like, "Arr." I tried to draw like 5 different things, and it took me a minute to kind of like think about my own idea for a minute. So that was really interesting.
That is
Um,
interesting that sometimes
yeah.
as the creative, like you crave the structure and you
Yep.
want the limitations, you want the rules
Hmm.
because you can kind of bend them and twist them. But without any of them, it's just like the question mark of like, I think like let's make him a zany fox. I don't know, I
Yeah,
guess.
I don't know. And I drew like 5 things. People that were watching, I was like, I tried like 5 things. I was like, that was great. Because I'd kind of already established like a look, and so I wanted it to kind of fit in with the other stuff. But yeah, so it's a bit of a struggle. And then just like the bike person was a little bit, because I had the punk rock arm coming down into that next frame, and I was like, how does it interact with the person on the bike or the
Yep.
character on the bike? Um, and so that I felt like got a little more complicated than the others that were more isolated, but
I agree.
it
And I
was
think
super fun.
yeah, as I was describing it too, I was like, oh man, I have the arm coming down and it's going to be hard. The same thing that I was like, oh man, we ran into this problem and I didn't do a good job at solving that. I was kind of just like, cool. It like, I don't know how they're going to interact because mine doesn't
But I could
interact well either.
totally.
Yeah.
I could see like it with a little more time, like, maybe I take that arm and make it twisting like a crank on the back of that character, or like just give it a little bit. Like it was one of those things where it's like maybe the interaction could then create its own story that would add to like our concept
Yep.
organically.
Yeah. What I'm
Oh,
thinking now is maybe
super
the
fun.
guy on the bike is reaching back and the other guy's giving him a
Yep.
high five. Like it's like this
Yeah,
nice little
totally.
like moment,
Yeah, or he's
which would
like
be,
reaching up and like poking the nose on the top right corner or tickling the toe. Like
yes.
it kind of opens up this thing of like what else could sort of weave in and out and interact.
That's
So
interesting, yeah, to see
the
after
happy
the
moment.
fact of like how can we better communicate this? That if we want it fun and zany, right, knowing now that it is for a kid's book, they want it a little
Yep.
crazy. Of how do we amp that up, right? That maybe the fox, like his tongue is hanging down, and the bike guy is
Yeah,
like pushing it
dripping
to the
on.
side. He's just like
Yeah.
slobber all
Yeah.
over him.
Yeah.
That it really like pushes those ideas.
Super
Cool.
fun.
So how do you feel? How do you feel about the process? What
That
was it
was
like being
great.
on that side? Super fun.
I was a little terrified, I'll admit, at the beginning. It was one of those like just jump in and see what happens. But like, I relaxed into it and started really having fun. And yeah, it was super fun. I can't wait to do it again tomorrow.
Sweet. Yeah. So, chat, let me know what you would like to do tomorrow. Give me some ideas, and we'll do another poll again tomorrow morning. But let me know what you want maybe the asset to be. We will keep the same idea. We'll probably keep the same book. So, the book that we'll be working with is Dog Wow Not. That will be the book that we're working for. We'll be doing another asset for that book tomorrow. So, let me know what that asset is and what you want it to be, and that way we can incorporate it as well. We'll be back again, same time, same place tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Um, and yes, a wet willy into the helmet ear. Oh, that's really funny.
Oh,
That
that's nice.
that it
I like
like
that.
goes all the way across like
Yeah.
into the ear, just like in there. Oh gosh.
So
Uh,
much we can do with this.
yes, and I love that once we got past the like scariness of like, oh man, I don't know what we're doing, we started to get into emotions over
Yeah.
like product. That's really when it
Hmm.
started to turn into something interesting.
Yep.
And so I think that that was really really fun to get into those feelings, and I'll
Super
try to
fun.
incorporate that more tomorrow.
Awesome.
Because I think it's something that worked really well for us.
Yep.
Yes, some great ideas coming into chat. Absolutely love that. We will incorporate some of those ideas tomorrow. It's always fun to talk to you, chat, and have Julia just like here. It's like when your parents are
It's
fighting and
like,
they're like talking
yeah.
about you, and you're like, I'm right here. I can hear
It's
you.
great.
So
But I
thanks
can't,
for
yeah, I
joining
don't know what
us
they're saying.
today. And Julia, again, one more time, where can people find you on the internets? Our mods will drop some links for you.
Totally. My website is juliamcnamara.com, and Behance is /Julia McNamara, and Pixel and Post is my Instagram handle.
Absolutely. And if you want to, make sure you check out that Instagram, the Pixel and Post. You can see a little bit more of the work that we did today in that fun style, lots of creatures. And I want to incorporate that in. And so we got some more fun creatures out today. So check that out. See a
Thank
bunch more
you.
fun creatures. And I absolutely, it brings joy when I look at your work. I feel happy and you
Thanks,
feel the
Andrew.
emotions of the characters and you
Thanks.
connect with them, which is great.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you again tomorrow. Thanks, Julia. I will see you there.
Thanks.
Bye,
Bye
everyone.
bye.